In Norway, a group of archaeologists will use ground-penetrating radar in September 2019 to look under the top of a field. They notice a strange thing: a 60-foot wide, huge, circular structure hidden under the subsoil that looks like a giant eye from the beginning of time. Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about how, when archaeologists looked under a farm in Norway, they found a huge shape in the dirt. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. The head of digital history at NICU says that their team has about 80 experts from many different fields. On the group's website, Dr. Nut Posh said that the anomaly is a very important part of Norway's past. This is very exciting because, as technology gets better, we learn more and more about the past. In fact, the rare find could change how we think about the past of Scandinavia. The subterranean oddity is in the dominion of the island of Edøya, which is one of thousands of rough islets off the west coast of Norway. Around 12,000 years ago, the first people to live in the area fished and hunted reindeer using the warm Gulf Stream currents. Around 7,000 years ago, they began to build villages for farming. The Neolithic period started about 1,000 years later. The Roman Empire started to change Scandinavian culture in the 1st century AD. They sold furs and skins with their merchants, fought as mercenaries for the empire, and built cities. Farmable land in the British Isles was, of course, the most important thing in the Viking adventure. Vikings set up homes in remote places like the Hebrides, the Shetland Islands, and the Orkneys. They lived on the Faroe Islands, which are between Norway and Iceland. In Ireland, they moved in with the Celtic chiefs and built towns like Dublin that were ahead of their time. Freyr is thought to have started his historical conquest in 866, when he took control of a few small kingdoms. He took full control of Norway at the Battle of Hafersfjord, which happened between 872 and 900, and was the biggest and bloodiest battle in Norwegian history up to that point, and for many years after. Because of this, the Freyr dynasty started, and the old order of chieftains fell. He changed Norway into a Christian country, but many chieftains didn't like the king's new rules, church laws, and priests, which led to war. Haraldsson died in the Battle of Styx, but the church made him a saint, and the process of turning Norway into a Christian country went on. Some of the oldest Christian artifacts in Norway are in smaller municipalities, like the Kula Stein and the Koli stone at Kuløy, which has a cross. Ora and Halvardr put up this stone to remember all the Folja who had been Christians for 12 winters in Norway on the island of Edøya. A parish church built in 1190 is one of the oldest Christian relics. The first building burned down in the late 1800s, and after World War II, it was rebuilt in the same way. In September 2019, archaeologists found a strange circle right next to it in a field. The building was found by accident by Dr. Manuel Gabler, de Goive, and Dengrosholm, who are all archaeologists at Nicopolis. They went to Edøya to look at a ruin, but their original survey plan didn't include the field next to the church. Gabler told the NICU website that they had finished the agreed-upon area, but still had time to do a quick survey of another field. This turned out to be a good choice because what they found is a very important part of history. The team made their find by using a ground pen, software, and tools made by the Ludwig Boltzmann Institute for Archaeological Prospection and Virtual Archaeology. To make the system work, high-frequency radio or radar waves are sent into the ground. When the waves hit things that were underground, they came back up to the surface. The waves are then picked up by antennas, which turn their messages into data that can be seen. But because the ground is much denser than air or water, the signals can't travel as far. Radar has a small range, but in towns, it can be used for many different things. Radar is a good way to survey because it is cheap and gives a lot of information without disturbing buried objects. Depending on factors like the density of the rock, the information from Radar can be used to make visual profiles or complex three-dimensional models of archaeological sites. Ground-penetrating radar has changed how we think about some well-known historical sites, like the Druidic monument of Stonehenge in the United Kingdom. In 2014, researchers used ground-penetrating radar and other tools to scan the area to a depth of 10 feet. They found that Stonehenge was linked to a larger group of ceremonial sites and 17 hidden shrines. Also, the map made by the study was the most detailed and broadest ever made on EDI. Without georadar analysis, the building buried in a field next to the old parish church would not have been found. The building is a 56-foot-long Viking longship set within a circular mound. According to Dr. Posh, the ship is the first of its kind to be recorded with 21st century technology. He told the NIQ website that this is a very exciting find because we only know of 3 well-preserved Viking ship finds in Norway. Since the 4th century BC, longships have been a part of Scandinavian society. After more than 1,000 years of changes, their design has found its peak. During the golden age of Viking culture, some shipbuilding skills were so advanced that shipbuilders still use them today. Archaeologists Dag Øyvind Solem said in March 2019 that the circular shape of a moat shows that the ship is inside a grave mound. Ships were symbols of power and status in Viking society, and it was common to be buried in one as a way to show control in the world and beyond. Also, the big burial mound showed that a dynasty was powerful and would last for a long time. Near the grave mound, the georadar found the remains of 5 longhouses. Some of them were quite big. One of the oldest kinds of buildings in the world is the longhouse. Since the Neolithic era, people in many places, from Europe to the Americas, have used them. That's it for today. What do you think about this incredible discovery? Let us know in the comments section. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates.